Sometimes I feel like I've absolutely lost my mind because I remember a time not that long ago where everybody on the right proclaimed to care about one issue above and beyond all other issues, namely free speech and the First Amendment. When the right-wingers thought that they caught the left on an issue, they fucking pounded us into the ground on that issue. Namely, oh my God, why are you guys blocking Ann Coulter from giving a speech at Bumblefuck University? Why are you guys angry at Ben Shapiro for hosting a debate at this college? And whenever there were like petitions to try to make it so these people don't speak, you got the shrieks and the moans and the cries of, you hate free speech, you hate the Constitution and the First Amendment. You're evil. Poop face. And I remember watching all that, and perhaps I'm a bit of a sucker, perhaps I'm a bit naive, because in the moment I remember talking about it and saying, let them fucking talk. You know, I believe in free speech, even if it's just the principle of free speech and not necessarily the legality of it, because certainly there's no violation legally of free speech rights in these scenarios that they were talking about. But let them go ahead and speak, because, you know, if I was given a speech on a campus, I would want the right to speak, and I would want, if people are making a petition, I would want, you know, the campus to, or the administration at the school to rip it up and throw it in the garbage, right? But what I didn't realize at the time, and I think many people didn't realize this, is that, they don't actually give a shit about the issue. They're just using it in this moment because it's convenient in the moment. That all the right really cares about is power, and so they're going to flex their power and pretend to care about free speech now, but when they get power, suddenly they won't give a fuck about free speech, and they're more than happy to censor people they disagree with and ruin the lives of people they disagree with. I mean, look no further than, you know, fucking deporting, I believe it was 6 people for jokes about Charlie Kirk. I'm not kidding. After his death. Deporting them over that. Even though they definitionally have free speech rights, and if they took that to court, they would win. It would just take a lot of time and a lot of money. I don't know if they have the resources or the ability to do that, but they would win. All right, well, now we got to talk about this. So we talked about this a couple months ago. There's this guy who was arrested for posting an anti-Trump meme on a Charlie Kirk Facebook page. And, you know, basically it was like a quote of Trump of, we got to get over it. Trump had said that in reaction to a school shooting. This guy posted Trump with, we got to get over it, in a Charlie Kirk Facebook page. Okay. Well, what happened after that is absolutely terrifying and fucking North Korea-like. Watch this. Shout out to Jordan Ewell and The Intercept, because they did this reporting here. Let's watch.
That is a retired cop, and I could not believe it when I learned why he's in jail. His name is Larry Bishart Jr., and he worked as a police officer and sheriff's deputy for over 24 years. He just retired last year. And as is common with retired boomers, Larry loved posting on Facebook. But our boy Larry may have posted too close to the sun, because after Charlie Kirk died, Larry went on a posting spree about how Kirk didn't deserve the treatment he was getting from the media. He also posted a bunch of other memes, like some Sopranos memes where Carmela reacts to the news, saying, "Who gives a shit?" But the one that landed him in jail was this one. A quote from Donald Trump one day after a January 2024 school shooting in Iowa. "We have to get over it." The night after he posted that, he was in jail. And the charge? I am not making this up. Threatening mass violence at a school. You can hear the disbelief in both Larry and the cop's voice in this body cam footage.
This is what they charged him with. Okay. Threatening mass violence at a school.
At a school?
It's referring to a school. I have no idea. That's what they've called us for, and I ain't got a clue.
I played on Facebook. I threatened no one. I know you don't give a
I ain't got a clue. I just had to do what I had to do.
I've been in Facebook.
I'm not saying you did or didn't do anything.
No, I did do, but I don't think you committed a crime.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you did or did not commit a crime.
I may have been an asshole, but
That's not illegal.
No, it's not illegal. But despite that seemingly major point, his bail was set at $2 million.
They set his bail at $2 million for a joke on Facebook. Let me repeat that. They set his bail at $2 million for a joke on Facebook. He should have never even been fucking arrested. No, this is dark, and this is nefarious, and this is gross. And whoever's responsible, the judge who's responsible for setting that bail should be fucking fired. Whoever decided to have this guy arrested, I don't know if it's the sheriff in this place or whatever, should be fucking fired. They should be fired. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. And by the way, the same week that we're learning about this, Joe Rogan was on his show. I just saw a clip. He was on his show, his podcast, and he was whining about some example from the UK of somebody getting arrested for their free speech, except in the example that he cites, when you go into the specifics, the person actually did incite violence, and the right-wing narrative around it is like they didn't, but they did. So he's talking about alleged suppression of free speech in the UK. Meanwhile, in this country, his fucking country, with the president he supported, now people are getting locked up for jokes at their expense, for jokes at Charlie Kirk's expense. So I'm fucking losing my mind, bro. Their ability to just like pretend this stuff doesn't exist so that they can keep loving Trump and they can keep pretending like they support free speech. No, these are the biggest opponents of free speech I've ever seen in my life. I need you to remember his name. Larry Bashart. That's his name. Let that stick with you. Anytime you ever hear anybody on the right ever bring up free speech ever again, or the First Amendment or the Constitution, you say Larry Bashart. Do you know anything about Larry Bashart? His life is being fucking destroyed. He's still locked up for months over a Facebook joke, over a meme. This is literally North Korea-like shit, bro.
Meaning he would need to pay at least $210,000 to get out. Now, I don't know a lot of people, if anybody, who has a spare $200,000 laying around, and Larry sure doesn't, so he's still sitting in jail. He doesn't have a court hearing until December 4th. In other videos, I've talked about how people have had their free speech infringed based on things they've said in reaction to Charlie Kirk's death. But this one, for me, is probably the most absurd story yet. Because they seriously tried to claim that a reasonable person would conclude that Larry's meme could lead to serious bodily injury or death of multiple people. Come on. The details here are wild. For the whole story, head to theintercept.com.
So look, I mean, I'll just say it like it is right now. If you are still a Trump supporter at this late date, you're an enemy of civilization. You're an enemy of human rights. You're an enemy of the Constitution and liberties and freedom and justice. Because what we're looking at with this movement, Trump tried to get Jimmy Kimmel fired over jokes. Are you noticing a pattern here? If it's jokes at their expense, people on their team, all of a sudden, all bets are off and we're going to fucking ruin your life over it. When it cut the other direction, oh my God, it was the end of the world. How dare you? We're principled. Let people talk, even if they say mean things and rude things and offensive things. You have a right to be offensive, yada, yada. Apparently not anymore. Apparently you're not allowed to talk about Charlie Kirk. That's off the table. That's off the table. So they tried to get Jimmy Kimmel fired over jokes. Like I said, they deported people for jokes about Charlie Kirk. They threatened a RICO case against protesters, the Code Pink protesters who called Trump a warmonger to his face. They want to try to use a RICO case against them and treat them like a fucking cartel, like the mafia or something like that. Trump, of course, sued Ann Selzer over a poll he didn't like. He sued CBS for how they edited a Kamala interview. He sued the New York Times for $15 billion. He sued a book company for a quote he didn't like. He threatens to de-license news outlets that criticize him all the time. He wants to punish flag burning with a year in jail. In fact, he signed an executive order on that exact issue. He sued CNN for $475 million for calling election denialism the big lie. He sued Bill Maher for $5 million over a joke before he was president. And I could keep going. There's a whole list of anti-free speech, anti-First Amendment, anti-Constitution actions that nobody fucking talks about. That you tune into this show, I'll talk about it. Maybe there's a handful of others who talk about it, but not many people fucking talk about it. And so instead, we get this bizarro world, this funhouse mirror world, where somehow the left is accused of being anti-free speech as the right does shit like this on a regular basis. Larry Bashart. Free Larry Bashart. Tell everybody you know about this guy, about what's happening. In fact, I'll go ahead and tell you, he's being held at the Perry County jail. Perry County, Tennessee jail. And their number is 931-295-0303. Maybe you could call and be nice, be respectful, be peaceful, but say, you need to free Larry Bashart. This is unacceptable. He's basically locked up on a complete and utter lie, and this is bullshit. And his rights are being deprived. And for every day you keep him locked up, you risk another fucking $1 million going to Larry in a lawsuit because his rights are being deprived. They've been taken away from him. So free Larry Bashart. Free him. This is unacceptable. 931-295-0303. That is the Perry County, Tennessee Sheriff Department. That's the jail. That's where he's being held. He's been there for months. He will be there for over another month if we can't get him out. Again, because he posted he was trolling on Facebook and posted a meme. If this person was a right-winger and they posted some joke at the left's expense, do you have any idea? Everybody on the right would know their name and everybody on the right would be screaming for their freedom and the fucking president of the United States would be talking about it, right? But since it's on our side, nobody's fucking talking about it. And it's absolutely disturbing. It's absolutely disgusting. And we need to have a little bit of backbone and have a little bit of spine and stand up for people whose rights are being deprived and whose free speech rights are being taken away. I don't want to live in this world. Do you want to live in this world? That could be me. That could be you. That could be fucking any of us. We've all fucking posted, lefty shit posting type stuff. We've all done that. We've all joked. We do it all the time. And this guy's fucking life gets ruined over it? Fuck no. He should be freed and he should also be fucking paid. He should civilly sue and get tens of millions of dollars over this because this is completely and utterly unacceptable. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.